What's going on, everyone? Jack here from Halfchrome, and today I've got something pretty awesome. This is a P1 camera and video transmitter from BetaFPV. It's an HD video system, and this cost me less than $40. It is $37.99 to put a camera and VTX on a drone. Yes, and it's real HD. It's not like kind of HD. It's not just really good. This is real HD video FPV for less than 40 bucks. I was very pleasantly surprised with this system. I put it together on this drone. It's essentially an old Mobula 8 with some other random parts. I got some Emax props, but the beautiful part of this is the BetaFPV camera and video transmitter that was basically just plug and play. I took a DJI O4 air unit off, put this thing on, plugged it right in, used the same ports, and it was good to go. So I'm going to talk about this P1 video camera system and VTX, and you can decide if it's something you want to get into. So first, I'm going to tell you some specs on this P1, and then I'm going to tell you about my experience. Now, I do have a video comparing this to other digital video FPV systems, but I got to do more testing and more comparing before I can get that to you. But this is kind of my first impression of this unit, and I'll tell you, I really like it. So this camera and VTX is capturing 1080p at 60 frames a second. It's got a 1/2.9-inch CMOS sensor and a 170-degree field of view. This whole unit is about 6.5 grams. It's actually a little bit heavier than that when you add the antenna, and I would suggest a dab of E6000 glue to keep that UFL from popping off. So it's small and it's light, and it's perfect for something like this. Actually, you could even go smaller if you wanted, but I love flying 2S whips, so I made this the thing that I wanted. So actually, let me just talk about the video feed. I was surprised at how clear it was. It really was pretty amazing. Now, in order to fly this system, you have to have these goggles. These are BetaFPV's VR04 HD goggles. You can see the two antennas here. They do have a DVR on them. And to be honest, I don't find them incredibly comfortable. I mean, they're fine, but I'm not a big box goggle fan. They're just kind of a little bit large. I do like that the battery is in the back, so that takes a lot of the weight away from them. But yes, these are the only goggles right now that this P1 unit works with. And these goggles are about $150. So still, for less than $200, you can get goggles and a VTX to put on your quads to get digital. So the video feed, yes, it's really nice. They say you get up to 5 kilometers of range, and I can't really test that. It's actually freezing outside. And when I say freezing, we're talking about sub-zero days here outside of Chicago. So I've been flying inside of my house, and I can get, I don't know how far I could have gotten, but about 100, 150 meters. I was flying inside of my house before it started to kind of lose signal, and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable really pushing it too much further than that. On the days that I did brave outside to fly it, I got a little bit further, actually about double that before I started to get some of the artifacting and breakup. But yeah, this is really good. Now, they say about 60 milliseconds of latency. I did actually try to take this to a tiny whoop race, and that is not what this is for, right? The latency is just a little bit too much, I think, for that. Plus, you're talking about other frequencies and stuff. So really not a really great use case for that. But if you're flying around your backyard and you want to get into digital and you don't want to break the bank, yeah, this is actually kind of amazing. Now, the unit itself, if you want to put one on your drones, is 30 by 30 with 25.5 by 25.5 mounting holes. The camera is 14 by 14 by 17. We're talking millimeters here. So yeah, this thing is really pretty versatile. And did I mention it's not expensive? I'm just impressed by being able to get something this inexpensive on a quad and not be complicated. DJI, Walk Snail, those are both really good systems, but they're pretty expensive. HD0, also really nice, but you don't have that clarity. You do get the latency that you're probably looking for, but this is a really nice option. But the thing that I like the most is this ArtLynk, as they're calling it, this P1 system. Might be open source, it's not super clear. It says, collaborative and open community. ArtLynk protocol is a collaborative FPV ecosystem not belonging to only one company. Many FPV enterprises and teams would design and produce their own products based on the ArtLynk protocol, ensuring broad compatibility and fostering community. That sounds really promising, because now with all of these other digital video systems, you have to pick a lane. Maybe you don't have to pick a lane with this. I'm kind of excited to see how this develops, if that's the direction it's going to develop. Right now, I think this is the only lane that you have. You have this P1 unit, you have these goggles. I would love to see someone else make some other things that are compatible with these. So that remains to be seen. But I do know Artisan is basically the brains behind most of the HD video systems, right? Walksnail, I believe, uses some of their technology, which actually came from DJI. HD0, I think, is their own thing. There are lots of companies kind of using this very similar technology. It would be awesome to see kind of this Artisan or ArtLynk protocol went out. Lots of people collaborating on one project. That's how we would make progress. So if you want to learn more, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'm working on how does this compare to DJI? How does it compare to Walksnail? How does it compare to HD0? How does it compare to OpenIPC? There are lots of digital options out there. Which one's best for you? That's going to take a little bit more time. Hopefully we'll figure that out. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Good luck, everyone, and happy flying.